Bottle is all-in-one software for meal delivery companies.
Awesome. Let's get to it. I want to see the products. So do you mind showing me? I think I'm curious about how does this work for my customers? What's the ordering experience look like?
Here's a landing page that you can customize, which we'll get into later. But I know the most important thing is getting checkouts, getting customers here and getting them to convert and pay you money. So we're really proud of this checkout flow, and it has everything you need as a meal delivery business. So one feature off the bat you'll notice is we let you ask questions throughout the checkout flow, makes it really customizable to gather all the information you need to properly run your business. In this case, we've set up different packages as a question. So we're offering 5 meal, 10 meal packages, or just order a la carte. I'll say I actually want the 10 meal package. I'll go to the
And
next.
well, do I have to do a package or
You
is
do
that
not have to
optional?
do a package. Totally
Okay.
optional. They're really cool features. You can even do packages and not force customers to answer the question, which I'll show you in a second. You'll see here we have a question on allergies or dietary restrictions. You can also present that question as just a list of options. Then we're landed into the checkout flow. And there's so much here that's really subtle, but really helps convert customers. Number one of which is over 90% of traffic on all of our merchants across all of Bottle, and probably true for you, is mobile. So we've gone to painstaking lengths to make this checkout page convert extremely well on phones. So you'll scroll here. What's really important about this is all of your products are on one page, and it's really easy to add options to your cart without having to go to a separate page, add to cart, and go back. We eliminate 60% of clicks by doing it like this and really get people over the finish line. You can also offer various preferences here, just like you'd expect. There's unlimited options to how you can do variants. You get these beautiful image cards that you can click into. You can swipe through multiple images, and you can even load these cards on initial load to be blown up. So if you have beautiful photography, we suggest that you actually load your products like this. It looks like an Instagram post. It makes it really easy to add to cart. So one thing you may have noticed when we landed on this page too is because I selected the 10 meals, we automatically added the 10 meals that you suggest as a vendor to the customer's cart. I, of course, can add more. This is a really unique feature of Bottle. In other systems, if I add a 10 meal package, I'm constricted to only 10 meals. In this world, you can actually keep going. So you can enforce a 10 item minimum. If I dip below the 10 items here, you'll see that I have to add one more to check out. But once I'm at 10, I can keep going. And you'll notice we also offer pricing tiers. So if I can get up to 15 items, I get 25% off. All of this is customizable by you and really geared toward getting higher cart values. How can we get customers to add more and more to their cart so that you make more money? So we'll proceed to checkout here. Before I do that, any questions on the checkout selection screen?
Tell me a little bit more about those pricing tiers. So how do those work? Why are they beneficial? What's the logic behind the pricing tiers and the functionality?
Great question. We work with hundreds of meal delivery companies and have for many years. And the two biggest predictors of success that we see in terms of great businesses are high cart values and repeat customers. And we can talk a lot about the repeat customers bit when we get to the checkout screen, because there's a lot of nuanced and interesting things Bottle unlocks for you as a business. But cart values is so important. And one of the ways you can get your cart values up is if you just incentivize customers to add a little bit more to their cart. Why does that matter? Because by adding more items to the cart, you're barely adding more labor to the order on a relative basis, because you still have to package the order up. You still have to give it to a delivery driver. You still have to do the drop. You're still cooking the meals for that customer, but you're able to get more revenue without adding a bunch more labor to the same order. There's two things here, even beyond the pricing tiers, that I think are worth calling out. One is the order minimums. So in this case, we've got the package set up where I've chosen the 10 meal package. By pre-selecting 10 meals and enforcing a minimum, it's a really good way to just nudge customers to always order at least 10 meals. Now, of course, I could flip to the 5 meal package, and now the minimum is 5 meals, and we've automatically filled 5 meals. But what we see in this flow is jump people up to the 10 item count. So I'm not manually filling my cart to hit 10 items. There's just consumer fatigue there. Give them a full cart, let them edit the cart. And then the second thing is what you're asking about is the pricing tiers. So you can add an unlimited number of pricing tiers. And we recommend that you try to get people at least to $100 and then another tier at $150. So in this case, we're doing pricing tiers based on number of items. The average product in the cart is about $10. So we're saying if you can get to $150, we'll jump your discount from, I think right now it's 15% off up to 25% off. I think that's a little high. I don't know why we've set that up in this demo account. We typically recommend something like 5% off if you can get to 100, 10 or 15% off if you get to 150 or $200 cart value. But what we see is if you're adding items as a customer, you really want to unlock that discount because it just feels, oh, if I just add a little bit more, I get a lot more bang for my buck. And that's really important for both you as a customer and you as the business owner. So here's the sign up screen. We put a lot of effort into conversion here. And I don't think we need to go deep on this call, but the goal here is to get people over the line. One of the biggest friction points of checkout software is abandoned carts. And we, of course, let you retarget abandoned carts and all this, but we've got to get their information here first. So this is an extremely streamlined, friendly. There's the order summary. You can add a custom message here, really geared toward getting customers over the line. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this out. And we text the customer a token to authenticate their phone number. And then we're taken to the checkout screen. What's really cool about here, to stop for a moment, is we have now captured the customer's phone number and they've given us consent to message them. So right now, my cart is considered an abandoned cart. And what you can do in the back end, which I'll show you in a second, is if I don't finish payment here, if I don't choose a pickup option and pay you money, you can retarget me in an hour or the next day, reminding me, hey, I left items in my cart, come back and finish order. And because it's all integrated with SMS, you can send the customer a direct link right to this checkout screen again with their same cart that they abandoned previously. So they don't have to log in again or refill their order. It's just sitting there waiting for them. But here is the final checkout flow. So you'll notice here, if you're a meal delivery company, you're probably doing delivery and you're probably doing a bunch of pickup locations. And so in this case, we've got a dozen or so pickup locations that have partnered with Andy's South Fork business. And we've got this delivery option. Delivery and bottle, just to point out really quick, you can set up different zones, either based on zip code or just drawing on a map of where you would deliver and assign different price points for different zones. So you might want to deliver to a far out neighborhood. And I'll just pick this New York address as an example. This thing is $15 to ship to New York from this business in Atlanta. Now, if I chose a local address, that price might be free or whatever, but you get to customize the pricing based on where the customer lives. And you can also choose not to service whoever, of course. Like you get to just draw on a map or enter zip codes of who you actually want to deliver to. But the pickup is really key. And we've spent a lot of time on this map, making it really easy to see where pickup locations are and what days you're actually going to pick up the meals. So I'm going to pick this April 1st as an option here at East Pole Coffee Co. And you'll notice I get this message. I have to order by next Friday at 5 p.m. to pick up my order Monday, April 1st. And it's giving me the hours that I can pick up that order at East Pole Coffee. And this just speaks to all the logic in the back end that's happening around when's the cutoff time, when's the arrival day, what day do you as a business owner need to produce the food? All of that is handled automatically. Any questions there?
No, I think obviously we'll want to look at the back end and see how all this functions, but looks great so far.
So I scroll down, next section, membership tier. And this is really the secret sauce of Bottle. We want to enroll your customer into a relationship with you that lasts more than just one order without it feeling sticky and bad. You're not forcing them into a subscription. So what this, by default, you can drop customers into what we call order reminders, or we try to encourage people to call it like a friends and family membership where I consent to get a text from you every week with the new menu. And when you do that, you can customize the language, include an image, drop the new menu, and there's a unique link included with every weekly text that takes customers straight to the menu. And you can pre-fill the cart based on exactly what they ordered the week before. Even if you roll your menu, you can choose what items replace old items and make it one click to check out. And so even if you don't get people onto a subscription, we see insane reorder rates from getting people onto this list and texting them a unique link once a week. Those are fully customizable by you. You can send multiple reminders, but we really want you to enroll your customers into a membership. And you can also offer a subscription. So we really want you to upsell customers over time from, okay, I've ordered from you once, I got the text, I ordered again, I really like you. Maybe you offer a discount if a customer decides to choose the subscription and just get set to autopilot, auto charge every week. And what you can do is offer a discount for upgrading to a subscription, and all of that happens in real time. So if I flip to a subscription tier, you'll just see this total drop. So there's a big incentive if you're a frequent customer to just go ahead and become a subscriber right here on the checkout screen. So that's the membership tier. And then we're going to come down to pay. So because I don't want to pay you, Andy, real money, I've just added account credit to my account. Otherwise, I'd see a credit card form here. Or if I've paid you before, we just store the credit card on file. I can add a tip. These amounts are fully customizable by you. You can get rid of the tip window if you want. I just go here, I click pay, and I've submitted my order. It came out of my account credit, and I can see my order summary, all the items I'm supposed to get, when I'm supposed to get them right here on the receipt screen. So, any
That's awesome.
questions about any of that?
You mentioned the texting. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's possible, but I think it might be helpful if you have an example. Uh, you can show me how the texting works. That would be awesome. Just a sense of what that link
Great
looks like.
question. Yeah. So I just flipped over to the dashboard to give you a sneak preview, and you're landed here on this page. We'll come back to this in a second. This is the heartbeat of how you just easily download those reports. But we have global search. I'm going to search for myself in the system, and I get brought to this conversation stream. So all of your customers will appear right here in the left sidebar under messages. And you can just text with your customers. So again, we gave you a dedicated phone number. By default, I get a texted receipt to my phone as a customer. And you can see that right here. This little sparkle means this was an automated message. And what's really cool too is you can actually see what the customer is doing in their profile and on the checkout screen right here in the conversation view. So you can see, oh, I chose a package and auto-filled my cart. I answered these questions during the checkout flow. I proceeded to checkout. All of these activities add up to ways you can segment your customers and retarget people based on did they have intent to buy and forgot, and really get clarity on who actually abandoned their cart, who needs a little help, who you might reach out to and ask if they have any additional questions. But I could go here and say it's been a few days. If I'm a new customer, you might want to just manually come in and ask how things are going. And I'm going to get that text on my phone, and I'm just going to reply back right now. You'll notice here I've got the text in my phone. I'm going to say they were great. And that reply is then just going to load right here into the messenger. I would say that the number one reason people sign up for Bottle is to solve their logistical nightmare of managing orders and sheets, trying to keep track of everything, software not working in terms of invoicing people, letting people skip. But when we talk to customers 2, 3 months after they onboard a Bottle, they say all of that has been amazing, but I love the texting. The fact that I can be right here and see exactly when something goes wrong and can just reach out, message my customers, let my delivery drivers text and notify a drop off. I can see what's happening in my business, and it 10x improves customer communication, which is so important when dealing with food that's being dropped off on someone's doorstep. It's so important to be buttoned up on communication, and this really helps business owners do it.
And how does the texting work? Is it, I see you just showed us one to one. kind of what's the balance between like where's the automation taken? How much of texting do I need to be handling on my own as an owner? Like how much of
Mhm.
this can I automate?
Yeah, for sure, you should automate two things. The first is your weekly, or most people are weekly, some are every 2 weeks, but your weekly reminders where you're going to send out the new menu with a schedule. And the way that's done is you come here to the cell tab and you go and create what's called a drop. And we don't need to go through and create a whole one. Typically, owners just have to do this once and then set it and forget it. But let's say you do a Monday menu drop every week. You come here and create this drop, and you would choose the store that, which we can talk more about probably in another video, that you want that drop linked to. Basically, what order flow do you want people sent to? And you are going to choose your customer base that you want this to go to. So in this case, I actually want this to go to my one-time order members because I don't want to auto charge them. And I'm going to choose the day that they're ordering food for. So I think that's the 25th. And then you're going to add reminders. So you can add as many as you want. Okay? Just keep adding these. We recommend 2 to 3. What's really nice about the reminders is if I get the first reminder as a customer and I skip or place an order or an action like that, I won't get the second reminder. So by setting up multiple reminders, you're not overly bugging people. You're just nudging them to place an order. So I'd go here. I could change the body of the text. I'm going to choose exactly when I want this text to go out. I could add in attachments. You can include an image of your menu. And then the other few features quickly is you can refill carts before people get the link. So you can say refill their cart from the week before. So when they open the menu, things are automatically selected and I just have to edit. And then you can also turn on auto charge. So when you set up a drop for your subscribers, you would specify exactly when you want those charges to go through. And then this is quality of life down here. Basically, you'll set this drop up to duplicate once a week, every week, and you won't have to touch it again after you get it set up. The second thing that's really good to automate is we have this full kind of send message flow. And one thing that we recommend doing is setting up an abandoned cart message. So we automatically give you an abandoned cart filter, like a list of carts that have been abandoned in the last week. And you can come here and choose that list and put in a message, include an attachment if you want, but say, hey, you've abandoned your cart. We can automatically include a link to that specific cart. And then you can choose a time to send it. So you can schedule this to go out every week, maybe a couple hours before your cutoff. Or you can even just send one off, one time reminders. If you ever like, oh, I need to remind my abandoned cart customers, you'll get a preview and then you can actually send that message. So those are the two automations we definitely recommend setting up.
Awesome. Awesome. And then how does like setting up my menu and getting all the things that we went through on the checkout screen, like how do I do that at a high level and just getting everything in place?
Yeah, we have spent a ton of time on setting up a store. So you'll go here to the cell tab. There's a product library section, and you'll basically just add your products. We can also import and upload in bulk products for you as you onboard. And then you go and you create a store. And a store represents the entire checkout flow that happens. And we've made that really easy in terms of breaking everything down step by step. So if you click in to edit a store, you have the overall information, like the name of that store, maybe a description. You can attach an image. You can lock a store so you can gate stores and only let maybe specific catering buyers or wholesale buyers have access to a store. You can hide the store, tons of flexibility here. But you'll notice on the left side, we've got this product selection page. So this is everything that happens on the page where I'm choosing my products. And then we've got the sign up and log in page. That's everything where I'm putting in my phone number, I'm logging in, I'm signing up. And again, there's some cool automations there we can touch on briefly. You've got your checkout page, so everything on the payment screen, and then you've got your receipt page. So just to quickly touch on the product selection page, one of the coolest features of Bottle is this ability to ask questions. So you'll notice this is where we set up that what package question. And do you have any allergies or dietary restrictions? we can ask other questions here. Like one of the biggest is the fulfillment slot question. So you can ask upfront when the customer wants their food, and that might dictate the menu. So if you have different items available on different days, you probably want to ask the fulfillment slot question before the customer sees the menu and things like that. Customers do all sorts of fun things asking like, what's your favorite superhero and stuff just to engage with their customers. But then here is where you set up your categories. So right now we have this entree category. I might want to create an add-ons category here. Once I create a category, I can add products to that category. And you'll notice here that I can set products out into the future for specific days. So by default, I'm on this all tab. And when I add a product, it means that product's always available. But I might click over and say, you know what, I want to add a specific chicken dish or this beet salad with chicken only for this date. I think it was April 1st. Yep. So only if I'm choosing delivery on April 1st will I be able to see this beet salad with chicken as an option.
I can
Product
set
management.
menus. I can have 4 weeks of menus, set them, add the date to them, and then they just automatically roll over.
That's exactly right. Yep.
Awesome. Okay, cool.
And really quick, just while you're here too, cart minimums built in. Specific minimums around, I need this many entrees, this many sides built in. This is where you set up your pricing tiers. So what we were talking about, this demo account has a 10% discount at 5 items, 15 at 10, 25 at 15. You can also add a tier around dollar amount. So instead of doing minimum quantity of products, you could say you have to add $200 worth of something to get it in the cart. And then the other thing I want to point out, we covered packages a bit, is back to the sign up and login screen. I can't stress how important this is for getting customer information. You'll probably notice when you go to an e-commerce site, you get a pop-up that's, hey, give us your phone number. We'll text you a code. You can implement a system like that right here where you have major intent from your customer. They've filled a cart, they proceeded to check out, but they still haven't given you any information. We really recommend that vendors put in a discount code here for new customers only. That's, hey, once you sign up, we'll text you a $10 code or we'll text you 15% off. And basically, you'll just turn on this new sign up automation. And if someone puts in their phone number, you can text them that discount code right here really easily. And it only ever goes to people who've never received the message before and have never placed an order from you before. It's targeted at new signups. So it's just really important to convert and get people farther in the funnel so that you can engage with them, ask them if they have any questions, and ultimately get them to order.
Awesome. I think I have 2 more questions here. The first, which you're, I believe, going to, is just walk me through high level reporting, labels, weekly production. How does that work?
Yeah, so this is your heartbeat, your calendar. You're going to group your orders by your production day, which I think we should dedicate a different video to. There's a lot of cool features there and simplicity on how you manage your delivery windows. But let's just click on this Monday, March 25th day. There's one order here. I marked it as paid. So if I had actually paid Andy with a credit card, I'd see this charged amount and total amount here. Here's my cart. I can open it up and see what I ordered, when the production day is. I can also click into the order and actually go right here and edit the order directly. I can manually add more items. I can change the quantity of something. I can change the fulfillment day really easily. And again, because this lives alongside the texting, if a customer texts in and says, hey, I actually wanted chicken in my pita, I could come here and easily switch it out. But this page, back to your activity for Monday, is where you'll see everything you need to do production. So by default, we give you this breakdown of products of everything that was ordered and every variant SKU so that you know exactly what you need to order and how much of each product you need to make. We also give you these packing cards. So if you go here to orders and flip to unpacked orders, you'll see all of your orders in one screen. And as you pack them in the kitchen, you can just mark an order as packed and it'll flip over to this packed screen. So you can always see what orders you still have to roll up and get done. And then, of course, you can just download reports. So we have this really detailed and heavily researched order spreadsheet that's going to give you an Excel sheet of every order, every item that every customer ordered, that customer's address, and you can quickly import that into routing software, custom macro. You get a breakdown of every product that was ordered. But then even cooler than that is there's invoice PDFs that you can download, and there's packing slip PDFs where you just get, if we create one really quick, you get a sheet for every order with the name of the customer, that customer's phone number, where it's going, what's in the order. So it just makes packing the order really easy in the kitchen. And you can include these actually when you pack the order so the customers know they got exactly what they needed to get. And like product labels, you can just download a
Yeah.
report, get all of your labels, all of your order
So those
labels.
are like the labels that I put on my box, right? I can just get
Yes.
those and awesome.
Yep. And you'll get one for every product that was ordered. So if there's 10 taco bowls and one vegetable pita, you'll get 10 taco bowl labels and one vegetable pita, et cetera. So you get exactly what you need to knock out production when you get to it on Monday.
Awesome. I guess one question, I know we touched on it briefly, but do you mind talking a little bit about what the difference is between subscriptions and one-time orders and if customers can manage those on their own or like kind of how flexible can the subscriptions be and what does that look like?
Yeah. So we manage subscriptions through a concept called membership tiers. And again, we view that even customers who have opted in to get the menu from you every week, they're subscribers too. They're just not being auto charged. We think it's really important that you build this stable of customers who are ordering from you over and over again, and they feel good about their relationship with you and vice versa. So, what we do here with membership tiers is give you a really flexible way to offer different tiers at which a customer might choose to engage with you. And we've turned off this none and one time, which is why it wasn't in the checkout flow. But in this demo account, we have this orders, reminders, and special drops membership tier. And we give it a description. We've turned it on for the weekly menu. One thing you can do is actually specify an upgrade. So you can say this upgrades to the recurring subscription, and that'll improve the UI and make it more clear. Okay, for all my people who are just on my list, I really want to nudge them to upgrade and become a subscriber. And then you've got different settings here, which I don't think we need to get into right now. But basically, you can set up those automatic reminders that go to this list every week, every other week, whatever tier it is. So they're just automatically be reminded when the new menu drops. And then same here for recurring. So I've got this membership tier. It's also turned on for that store we went through. It downgrades to the just reminders tier. And because it's an auto charge, we have more settings we might want to add. So we've turned on auto charge. So this says these customers will be automatically charged at the charge time. And these are the intervals they can choose. I can subscribe to get my order every week. You can add an interval to be like every 2 weeks. So you can offer flexibility to your customers who may not want to be charged every single week. And all of that logic is handled out of the box. And same here in your drop template, you'll create templated reminders that just go to that recurring subscriber every week, reminding them they have a standing order and to edit it before they get charged.
Awesome. And then I guess my last question, this is all great, would be I do delivery and pickup and shipping. And how would that work for my business? How would I manage that and bottle? And what are some of the different features?
Yeah. So back to the cell tab, you'll create different fulfillment methods. So in this case, we have this Condesa coffee pickup location. We have a bunch more. This vendor has set up home delivery and shipping. The pickup methods are straightforward, right? You're going to come here, you're going to say pickup to open this slot. What we call fulfillment slots are like when the customer is going to get the food, when you're going to make the food. We have this arrival window. So we're saying pickups from 9 to 5 p.m. on March 25th. You can place an order for this up until the 22nd at 5 p.m. You could even turn on and say you'll allow a grace period. And maybe the hard cutoff for orders is actually 8 p.m. that night. And you can choose when customers can start ordering. And of course, you can just repeat these so you don't have to set them up every week. Basically, the slots you'll just turn on to say, hey, repeat every week. So every Monday we offer pickup at this location. This is very much set it and forget it. I'll save this slot only.
That's how I determine cutoff times
Yes.
through the
Yeah.
slot. Perfect.
Exactly.
Okay. Awesome.
Yep. And you just have your address here. This is where the pickup location is. You can restrict pickup locations to delivery to specific minimums. So you can say, we'll only do delivery if the cart's at least $100. You can block a certain membership tier from accessing delivery. So you might say only subscribers get home delivery or something like that. And you can set up fulfillment reminders. So these reminders here go out either on the arrival day or before the arrival day. And you can remind people to leave out a cooler, that remind people that they've got pickup at a coffee shop. You can add multiple reminders. It's all very flexible. But the coolest thing to your question on delivery and shipping is we've built this map view where this is a home delivery method. Same as before, I'm going to choose my slot. So delivery is between 11 a.m. and 4. Cutoff is March 22nd at 5 p.m. to get this home delivery. And what I could do though is actually enable a restriction based on a map. And I could come in, let's say we're in New York and I only want to deliver to Lower Manhattan, right? So I would just come here, literally draw around Lower Manhattan and say, I'll only do delivery right here. And we, of course, offer restriction by zip code as well. So you can add zip codes that you deliver to, but we find the map to be a huge breakthrough for businesses that know they want to deliver to very specific streets or regions in a city. And then what's cool is you can have multiple delivery methods with different time of day and different pricing. So I could also draw a Brooklyn route as a different delivery method, and it might have different pricing and a different day and a different zone that I would need to be in as a customer to qualify for it.
That was awesome. Super helpful. There are a few more questions that I have, and I think maybe we'll handle those in other videos, things like loyalty, account credits, getting customers back, referral programs, a deeper dive of some of the logistics. But I think that was a pretty comprehensive view of the product. And so we'll stop there, and excited to make more videos in the future, digging into specific features.
Yeah, sounds good. It's definitely a lot of features. We've tried to make it as simple as possible, but things are very flexible. And our goal is getting people into your CRM, retargeting them, making sure they're ordering from you over and making sure they're ordering as much as possible to get those cart values up. So excited to show you more.